everyone. Hey, it's Kellen Cash. We're going live again. I'm going back to back to back to back with these videos, but I wanted to share something because I was just talking to a friend of mine in Colombia, and we were talking. He was trying to get some details when the next time we're going to go live, and when we're going to talk. But it came up that being yourself in business, being yourself in life, be yourself and be your best self. I get on here when I have something of value to give, and I talk about what's important to me because of the things that I hear other people telling me, whether that be in Colombia or Cameroon, whether that be in Oakland or New York. And I say things that other people can't say sometimes are unpopular. To me, that does not matter because I'm not here for a popularity contest. I've never had to pay for friends. I've never had to beg anybody to be friends. And when I do these things, it's really for me to give back so I don't have to have the same conversation over and over again. So I say that to say be yourself, because in business, there's very little support. You can go networking events all day and talk to other entrepreneurs, and that can make you feel good. To be around other people who are in the same struggle that you are, the same push that you're in, but nobody can push you to where you see your success. So don't wait for a whole bandwagon. Because I personally, I've never had the whole bandwagon, but it's the people closest to me that criticize, and I take that criticism. It's a good thing because they're not supposed to see the vision like I see it. And I'll give you an example of that. When we created the London and Sydney book, right? And this is them traveling around. This one is for Texas, but I have 22 books done. 22 books done. How you doing, Carlotta? I see you out there. And you can see some of those books on the back of here, right? Of the places they've already been. And this is now a year or two old. And even when it came out, there were more places I could have added. And we're going to add even more, right? That book, this little flimsy book that you can go on LondonandSydney.com or go on Amazon.com and type it in, and you see the names, boom, Kellen and Berthina. Then you see Ron Bryant, Rich Boy, Brandon Richardson helped laid it out. That became the hardcover that the libraries have started to buy, and the library has started to buy even in Canada. And so it's a good, unique thing. But so many people told me, you want to get into children's books? It's a money pit. Okay. Call it a passion project, but we're going to try it, because that's what we wanted to do at the time. And we're going to continue. And we have other authors now that we've put out. You can get actually Brandon Richardson's book on Amazon too. And that's a crossword puzzle, and we're doing that. So be your best self and don't try to fit in. So often they try to tell us how to wear our hair, how to do this. Don't listen to anything. This is the age of do what feels right to you in business and keep pushing, because it's never too late and it's never too early for a business, as long as you have your parents' permission. I don't want some kids to see that. I personally, London and Sydney, those are my daughters, but they personally, are going to be kids for as long as I can be. There's no need for them to just jump in and get on this hustle. You got your whole life to hustle and grind and figure out what's good and what's new. But so many people want you to try to fit into a box, and you don't have to fit into anybody's box. I don't have to agree with you, and you don't have to agree with me. But I know when I have a topic that it's been researched and sourced out by more than just me. So there's never something where I'm not the oracle just coming up with, great stuff all day. I'm always listening to other people and taking those bits and pieces and putting them together. So when people want to get into these debates about how I'm living the best life for me, it's like, don't do that, because the same thing that you're saying, I can have somebody in a different circle and they can flip it. One person can say the sky is blue, the other one can say it's blood orange. Depends where you are, in the world, and what your you know, what your view is. But people will always try to put you in this box, and you gotta have the insight to know that most people don't have your best interest, and most people, they may not agree with you, and that's okay. That's what these things are for. That's what I wore on these social media platforms. You have to understand, this is independent. This is one person's thought that, you don't have to agree with. Well, I remember doing the trucking business. How many people try to talk me out of buying my own truck? I don't get your own truck, whatnot. Don't do that. That's a money pit. Whenever I get that type of pushback, I know that's something I need to be doing, because that allowed me to have some freedom in a tough part of life, have some freedom and not have to go work for anybody again. And now that's what I needed. And I needed to be able to watch my kids. There's times that, you know, with our lives and how it's set up, where, you're waking up at 5 a.m. to get kids to somewhere at 5:30 a.m. just so you can go work 8 to 12 hours a day for someone else. And that's not a bad thing, but take that knowledge and then learn how to flip it, especially nowadays with automation. I tell my whole team, I say, who knows what the future of public relations and consulting looks like, just because automation, and we have so much software now that could replace, almost all of us. But that's why we have to have these books. That's why we have to do our speaking engagements, get paid for that, get paid for our consulting, because you just don't know. You don't know what's going to be the next hit. And I can tell you, everybody now knows the trick. Go rent a big plane, go get a Rolls Royce and look bigger than you are, and people will follow. Personally, those people, I don't follow those people, because it's smoke and mirrors. It's not real. Anybody nowadays, it seems, can get a Rolls Royce. Anybody nowadays can get rent a plane. You would be surprised how cheap those things are, and that's great for entertainers. But if you're not an entertainer per se, for what? For what? To impress people for what? At this point in life, what are we trying to impress people with? Material items. Because you know what impresses people? Hiring somebody so they don't have to go in the unemployment line. So they don't have to go fill out an application at Target, so they can pick up, a first or a second or sometimes third job. That's what impresses people. So, when I write these books, it's not to impress people. It's because God gave me a vision and I wanted to put it out there, and I have other books that I'm still getting, you get a little bit of royalty for. I wouldn't say get into books, people, just to think that you're going to get a whole bunch of money and be a bestseller. It's a grind, and it works as long as you work it. And so many people that I know do MLM, and they say, oh, you'd be perfect for that, you're a people person and this and that. And they would, but I did that like in my teens, and that's not where I want to go. But it's great for people who they want to work that system. And it's great for people who've never had a business. It's probably one of the most safest business, no overhead. And you have a mentor who's walking you down the lines of what to do next. That's a beautiful thing. Most businesses fail, but so many businesses fail because they don't have mentorship. They don't have a team. You need a team. You need a solid team too. And you just don't get it overnight. And you usually don't get it for free. A lot of people want that free 99 discount, and there's none of that in business. You got to put all the chips on the table. And if you're not willing to do that, you're just not willing to win in business. And you should work, and there's nothing wrong with working. I know it sounds cool when people say I have a business. You don't understand how much sleep people don't get with the business. Sometimes you'd be like, I'm working for pennies right now, but I'm working for myself, and I'm working for the team that I'm able to have and afford, right? And people are getting teams all over the world, Philippines, Cameroon. I want to build, have an office right in Cameroon, for some of the stuff that we're doing. So I'm trying to work out the full details because it's for the publishing company. But Africa is, you guys know, if you've followed me for 2 days, that's the future for us over here, for my family. That's the future. It's too much going on. You know, I've been to a lot of countries, whatnot, but the love that Africa and Africans from all different countries have given me, it's a beautiful thing. Minister Kobe, I see you, brother, talking about Africa, man. Talking about be yourself. Minister Kobe is prime example of that. I know they thought he was crazy, and he started playing all the gospel Christian songs, whatnot, online, and people are like, huh? Because he's been doing it for a minute, grinding, grinding. You gotta grind, from Ghana to the UK. You gotta grind. You gotta grind, and the grind doesn't always have a payday. That's the biggest thing, to always get back up. Because business, you get knocked down, but you got to get back up. But you got to be your best you. And no one knows what's going to win next. You got rappers that sound like women, dressing like women. They're winning right now on tour. That isn't my lane, but for them, if that's them, if that's the real them, or that's the act that they're willing to portray to get that bag, hey, to each his own. We don't, do anything that's not authentic to the everyday me and my team. And I don't ask any of our clients to do anything that's not authentic. Like, I don't want you to be fake. If you have to be fake just to get on, like that cheesy commercial that we used to see back in the day, and everyone's smiling and this and that. I mean, that's commercial ads, but there's just cheesy lines that we've heard since at least the 80s. That's what I know about. I'm from that era, and it's like, oh gosh, okay. The husband is going to be stupid in this sitcom, and the wife is going to be smart, and all this. Like that cheesy stuff. We don't have to do that. We can tell our own stories. Talking about stories, go on YouTube and look at the London and Sydney animation that Rich Boy did, and Taylor Robinson did, our voiceover artist, whatnot. And that was a beautiful thing. And, we have so much more to do, from the books, going to Cameroon, getting all the documentation. We're going to give you guys a mini doc or a documentary, style of the real Cameroon, getting everything, not going to be there for the 6 months that I want to be there for yet, but we're going to get enough there. Then we're going to come back, and I'm going to come back to the States for a little bit, and then Ethiopia, and get as much footage from there for you. And we'll see what we put together, whatnot, but want to show you that the world is a global village. On the Kellen Cash YouTube, Cash with a K, you can see how to get your passport, what's going on with how to get your shots, your visa, all that good stuff. But just be the best you. Be the best you. I remember getting my first tickets to go overseas, and I had internal support because my mother was a world traveler, but there were other people like, you're going where, and be careful, and this and that. Like, come on, you got to be the best you. And all the side comments that you get, block those people, erase them from your life. You came in this world, you're gonna leave the world by yourself. You by yourself, all you got is you and God. So just do you, and get that mentorship that you need to go to the next level. The beauty about mentorship is they've already been there. 20 years of experience already. You don't have to go through that. 40 years of experience, 60 sometimes, if you really get blessed with some wisdom. And don't just think because somebody is an old head, or they didn't know the technology now, that they can't give you some insight. So that's my little rant for the day. You take it, leave it. It's all good. But it was for me more than for anybody else. Be the best you in this business. Get these businesses up. If that's your passion and your drive. And, I can't wait to get out and enjoy some of this Seattle air, finally the spring, summer, all that good stuff. Things are just, it's getting better and better. So holler if you need consulting advice. Clarity.fm/Kellen Cash. We also opened up the patreon.com/Kellen Cash. I haven't perfected that where I want, but there's some other things that I'm working on because done are the days when people are just calling and for an hour ranting, and they know I'm a walking billboard. This is what I do. So, but I have to conserve more of my time. So I only had so much time to do this, but y'all be blessed. We're going to talk Anchor FM. Thank you all for keep watching and listening. YouTube, everyone like, subscribe. I want to do more on YouTube, but it's going to take the people to subscribe and tune in because I want to do more because there's so much you can do on YouTube and, the YouTube certifications that we're getting the clients. I like to try to master that, but I just don't see myself as a YouTuber. The advice sometimes can be too harsh, and I know that, but that's the way that I got it and receive it. So that's how I give it. All right, but y'all be blessed with all love.